Welcome to Texas Podcast. Thank you for all the day ones, all the new subscribers, likes, comments, feedback. Man, thank you so much. It's greatly and genuinely appreciated. Just had to jump on here real quick, man. I got the anxieties, man. Ready to come on here and vent for get some of these anxiety out. Like I said, man, I can't really work out, break a sweat. So I have to settle for this to be able to, relieve this emotion, this stress that I've been going through. So right now, my anxiety is through the roof right now, man. I gotta go get some. Gotta go get some ink from the store, man. I was trying to print out some papers and that shit just ran out of ink. Printed out half of the papers, and I gotta go get some ink right now, just to have everything in order. Just my dog. My dog knows I'm stressing out right now. He's right here, just looking at me in my eyes. asking me to pet him. He said he's gonna go up in the courtroom right here. I got my lawyer right here with me right here. He said he got his suit on. He's ready to go represent me in court. That's the thing, man. Dogs know they know when your anxiety's up the roof, man. Comes and looks at me in my eyes and says, "You all right?" Yeah, I'm all right, bro. We all right, man. Hopefully we get some closure coming soon. Hopefully we get some closure and continue the so-called war, all right? Once the playing field gets leveled out. Once the playing field gets leveled out, man, that's when the what do you call the hunting games begin. The real games begin. All right. Once the playing field is leveled out, that's when the real games are going to begin. All right. Right now, I'm just too busy leveling out the playing field. Once the playing field is leveled out, the hunting games will begin. What's that movie called? The Hunger Games or the Games? They will begin. Right. I was trying to print out the chapter 73, man, but it wouldn't fucking they only gave me the last 4 pages and they gave me the first 2 pages, so get all this documentation in order. Even through it's just pre-trial, man. Right? I'm gonna ask the judge, be like, hey, man, I've been documenting my journey all the way up to this point. I've been as respectful and as cordial and going about my daily life, right? Documenting it, vlogging it, posting it on social media. So what I don't understand is that why delete any videos for, man? If you're gonna speak what you consider to be facts, then there's no reason of deleting the video. Why do you delete videos? If you're gonna speak about somebody one way and then delete the videos, why delete them? That makes you look more of a cowardly, that you don't want to face consequences, right? So if you don't want to face consequences for what you delete, then it would presumably be saying that everything you're saying is lies, right? Because you don't want to face the consequences of having those videos up or leaving them up, right? You do videos, you delete them, and you run with your narrative, right? That's your MO. That's your method of operation. That's how you operate, right? You create videos, you slander, defame people's character, and then you delete them. You don't want to. You don't want to be held liable, right? So if somebody that got that kind of nature speaking false, well, I haven't deleted no videos, man. All my videos are up there. I haven't took no video down. No videos are deleted. All my videos are up there. They're up there. I haven't deleted anything. So now it's final judgment day, man. We're getting into the courts. I don't know, man. You know, I'm gonna ask the honorable judge. You know what I can't. You know, as far as blogging the circumstances, as long as you know what can I, what can I. I mean, I'm not disclosing anything about what's being. Well, it's not like I'm not disclosing anything that has not already been published on social media. That's the thing, right? I'm not saying nothing that has not been already published, right? So I'm almost like a repetitive, right? I'm like a broken disc. Every day I say the same thing over and over, right? Over and over, the same thing, right? Over and over, repetitive. I don't delete my videos. I'm documented that I suffer from a major psychotic depression, right? It's documented, man. I've been seeing my doctor for a while. I showed you a snippet of my medical record right there, right? To prove emotional distress, I have to show you proof of, you know, I'm seeing a doctor. I am a documented mental health patient. Right? It's on my portal. My next appointment is on the 12th of this month with my psychiatrist. So the emotional distress I'm going through, I'm living through it. I can prove it with records, my medical records. It's not just me telling you, oh man, you hurt my ego. No. Right? It's not just a hurt ego that you gave me. Right. And it seems you continue to create havoc by going on other platforms, doing video. I have no proof. I'm just going off based off of what you said this morning in my earlier live, that y'all did a live, and you know, well, we already know what kind of live parties y'all do, right? I have deleted records of yours, so I would presumably say that if it's the same method of operation y'all got going on, that it's no different than your live videos, right? Manipulating legal documents, spinning narrative off legal documents instead of the actual truth, right? It's like you're half telling truth, and even if you half tell the truth, it's still a lie, right? You're telling half truth. You're telling truth, and that benefits you and spins the narrative that you want to be pushed out there. Right? I already told you this morning, right? There was no such thing as a plead out for any kind of any kind of sexual deviancy. No kind of plead out, right? For any kind of lesser of a crime or any of that, right? No such thing, right? I will. Right. All the accusations of having a kid with a minor, I can disprove that. Right? Because I only have 3 kids, right? Well, that I know of, right? And that the legal system knows of, right? Child support, right? I don't know. Shit, I don't know. I doubt it, right? Shit, I'm pretty sure they would have probably already be asking for child support if I had a kid out there somewhere. Right? I highly doubt it, right? But even then, you know, if the thinking about leaving the possibility open, man, you know, money, claiming child support from somebody, it's simple reasoning enough, right? To come say, hey, here goes your son, or here comes your daughter, right? But, you know, since today, I'm only aware of having 3 kids, right? That incident that my name got brought up was 2000, right? 2000. My firstborn was 2004. My secondborn, 2005. My third one, 2018. Right? So that explains your reasoning of explaining myself, right? I told you I have no kid with a minor, right? And I have birth certificates and documents to tie me into these dates, right? That no bill is from either 99 or 2000. I can't remember, right? Because I went to prison in 2001, right? But when I did the fighting with with her stepdad, it was either 99 or in 2000, man, right? Because I went to prison in 2001. That doesn't mean that's the day I got sentenced, right? That doesn't mean that was the day I committed the offense, right? I can't really remember if I did it in 99 or in 2000, right? But I went to jail in 2001, right? For the burglary of a habitation, right? In 2001, I didn't even have a kid, right? So when I went to prison, my prison didn't affect nobody but myself, right? I didn't have a kid in 2001, right? I had my first son in 2004. And then I had my daughter in 2005. And then I had my third son in 2018. So you see the dates, right? Dates, right? The dates, the birth dates, just don't match, right? So there goes the debunking of having a kid with a minor, right? Once again, I can probably go back. But I can pull up all my child support paperwork from Texas, right? To see if I have any kids out of wedlock or any kids out there. Believe me, man, somebody's gonna be wanting child support, right? And I only have 3 that come back to me, right? 3. I'm on one of them birth certificate, and I'm not in the other one. Right? On my first 2 kids, I'm on one of them, and on the other one, I'm not. Right? Well, you don't ask me. Ask the mom why she decided, right? But they're both my kids. Right? They're both my kids, but I'm only on the birth certificate of what, right? But I pay child support for both. They're both my kids, right? There's no ifs or buts about it. They're both my kids. Right? So all the other stuff, it's just life, man. Right? Life. because you were so adamant on your video, apologizing to your baby mama for having a kid with a minor, right? And I just told you, my name on that no bill is from either 99 or 2000, right? You said I got out of that case because I had a kid with a minor, right? And I'm telling you, my first kid was 2004. Second one was 2005, right? And they're actually 11 months apart, man. They're not even a whole year apart, right? But that's what happens when you get out of prison, right? You come out of prison, you have back-to-back kids, man, right? They're not even a year apart. They're about 11 months apart. So that means right after I had my first son, I went back and made my daughter, right? Because you got to think about it. It's 9 months. It's 9 months in the stomach, right? 9 months. They're only 11 months apart. So that means that after she gave birth to my son, no later than 2 months, she was pregnant again. Right. But that's what happens when you get out of prison, man. You come full out of, you come out full, right? You come out full, man, right? And it's pure, right? It's just you're like Johnny Appleseed, man, ready to plant seeds left and right, right? I'm telling you, man, my kids were back to back. They're 11 months apart, 9 months in the stomach, you know, and then the 2 months, you know. I don't even think I gave her time to actually heal, right? But man, that's what happens when a man's been locked up, man, right? And that's how I created my first kids, man, my 2 kids. Not ashamed of them. Why would I be ashamed of them? Like you wanted me to be ashamed of them and give them an explanation of what your narrative wanted to be. I'd be a madman then, explaining to something that's not there just because you say it's there. You want me to explain it because oh, you say it's there, right? But no. No. Right. And like I said, man, the only way to, according to chapter 73, man, I'm going by what the law says, man. The only way the case is going to get dismissed is that those statements are true, right? That those statements are factual, right? That's the only way. And there's no factual. Right? Yes, there is facts to it, but you manipulated, you misinterpreted certain things to, you know, negligent and purposely, malice, intentionally harm my character. Right? Not that my character hasn't been damaged by my own. Right? I understand that, man. I'm not an angel. Right? By no means am I perfect, right? But I am a lot better than the person you portray me to be, right? The narrative and the Francisco and the kidnapping and all the horrific scenarios you've painted, man, without any kind of truth to it, right? with no kind of actual truth. No kind of actual truth. The only actual truth is my criminal record, man, and you chose not to use that. It wasn't bad enough for you, right? My criminal record myself isn't bad enough for you to paint the narrative that you want, right? I've damaged my own character, but apparently it wasn't damaged enough for you that you had to go find Francisco Martinez, right? Apparently, my own doing of damaging my own character wasn't sufficient enough for you, right? My own actions that you decided to take it upon yourself to go find Francisco and portray him as me, right? To what was the intent for? What was the purpose of it? For malice? Negligence would be like, oh, I thought I knew, but I did it. I'm sorry. Right? That's kind of negligence. But malice is what you did, right? Because you willingly did what you decided to do. Right? Manipulate, misinterpret legal documents, all that good stuff, right? Me damaging my own defamation of my own character wasn't sufficient for you. It wasn't good enough, right? Because you never talked about it until, I guess, you said last night, right? Last night you decided to talk about my actual criminal background, right? Thinking that you had some kind of smoking gun, right? You pled out to this. There is no way of pleading out from a horrific crime like you painted out, right? The scenarios you painted, I don't see how the way you painted me, man, I'd be in the electrocuted chair, man. I'd be out there with old Sparky right now. All right, they would have put my ass with old Sparky. You know who old Sparky is? That's the Texas electric chair, man. They call it Sparky, old Sparky. They would have put me there, man. All right. The way you painted it, and the way you made the scenario, and the way you misinterpreted legal documents and convictions and no bills, man, they would have threw me at old Sparky. All right. It would have been like the Green Mile, you know? They would have thrown my ass right there, and my eyeballs would have popped out. Pop! With old Sparky. All right. But my own criminal record wasn't sufficient enough for you. It wasn't damaged enough, man. You couldn't spin the tail you wanted to. Right? That you had to go find Francisco Martinez. Everything that I'm saying to you right now is repetitive. Right? It's regurgitated over and over and over. Right? Why? Because it's been publicized on social media. It's not like this is between me and you that we said in a closed door that only a handful of people have heard our conversation. No, we've made, as me, you being public citizens, we've brought everybody in full circle. Everybody knows everything, right? So what I'm telling you right now is no different than what I've been telling you for the last 2 years, right? It's repetitive, right? Telling you to stop with your defamation, right? Not once have I told you that all the false statements that you said are right, right? You just barely, according to you, yesterday, you started going about my criminal record, and then today you asked me why I'm responding it to you because you just brought it up yesterday, right? You have not been using you've been using Francisco's and whatnot to ever fit your narrative, right? Because if you would have misinterpreted what a no bill is, what it supposedly meant, we wouldn't be in this situation, right? But you decided to misinterpret a legal document to fit your narrative and to continue the narrative that you want to spin. You implemented Francisco Martinez, right? To further your malice behavior, right? To further, right? You had a cult following of 10 followers. I don't even know how many people were in your live that day when, so the habit of creating and defaming people's name and character and deleting the videos, you have a pattern of that. And by me having deleted the videos that you can't provide, right? Because they're so-called deleted, right? But they're not deleted because I got them, right? They're not deleted. To you, they might be deleted, but they're not deleted because I have a copy of the slandering and the libel. I have a copy of it, right? But instead of continuing like correlation and correcting yourself and making a video of saying that you had all misinformation and correcting you chose not to, right? It's not like I didn't give you the opportunity to correct yourself, right? You got a habit of recording conversations, right? Not once have you ever made it aware to me I'm recording, right? You always record either when I've told you plenty of times, let's talk off camera. You've always said, yeah, we're off camera, and then you start recording without my consent. So you have the habit of recording without my consent, right? We've had conversations, right? Where I know you recorded them, right? Without my consent, right? Where I told you and clearly told you what happened, right? You were privileged, right? You were privileged. I disclosed to you what happened. So you knew the truth because I disclosed. You were privileged. We had off-camera conversations, right? So you were privileged. It's not like you did not know on the no bill. Me and you, I told you off camera, right? I told you, right? You were privileged to it. But then even then, you still decided to go with the defamation of my character, right? You have to be under oath where I explained to you the scenario of the no bill, right? You were privileged to that information to tell you that whatever you were saying was false, right? You were privileged to the information. I'm not going to get on here and tell everybody on YouTube, right? Because the one that matters was you, because you're the one that started it with the bullshit. So when we talk off camera, you were privileged to what I told you happened, right? We had this conversation, right? I'm not a scumbag that records conversations, man, right? But just imagine all the conversations that we've had, man, off camera. And God knows, man, you can sit there and say, oh, you're bullshit. God knows, right? God knows the truth. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say, oh, me and you ain't never had no off-camera conversations. We've had many. We've had many, right? And you were privileged to get my definition of what the truth was. I told you, right? And you still decided not to go with it, right? You still went with the defamation of the slandering. You were privileged to I gave you the truth. I don't know what else more than you wanted, right? I explained it to you off camera, right? If I'm lying, I'm dying, right? And may God punish me, right? But me and you know we've had these conversations off camera, man, right? But then you still decided to continue the defamation, right? And what I told you has been no different than what I've told on here, man, right? So basically what you were privileged to tell you to stop with the defamation, correct yourself. I did everything I could in my power to, to try to correct and help you out, right? Before we got into this situation, right? You were privileged to the truth, right? The truth is what the truth is, right? Not your truth, right? The truth is not what you want it to be. And whatever scenario you wanted to paint, That's not the truth, right? You couldn't handle and accept the truth, right? That even through that, you were privileged that when we had the conversation, I told you about the no bill. What did you go do? You went to go make a video saying, oh, Noel's not Blue Blanco, I got misinformation. And then what did I text you? I got all the text messages and emails, buddy, right? I said, hey, good job on that video, man. I appreciate you starting off on the good faith, man. You know, but that is just one part of the problem you started. You said that I was Blue Blanco, you doxed me, you did all that, and then you want to come out and say, Noel's not Blue Blanco, right? I texted you. I said, hey, that's a good start, man. I appreciate that, right? Continue going, right? Continue cleaning up the mess you started, right? I am not lying, Dante. I have all these messages that I submitted to the courts, right? The back and forth. That I've tried everything to correct it with you, giving you every opportunity, right? Giving you the privilege of knowing the truth, right? You were privileged to know the truth of everything, but you still decided to go with the defamation, right? And I'm not fucking lying, man, right? I'm not lying, right? If he was man enough to tell you the way he slanders, he should tell you that we've had many conversations offline, man. Many, right? The last one, the text message I told you was, hey, that's a good start, man, right? When you did the video about Noel is not Blue Blanco, and I told you, hey, that's a good start, man. Good job, right? Now clean up the other mess you started, right? Clean up the other mess, right? And what was your response? Oh, no, man, let's do some videos together. We'll clean it up. I guarantee you your channel get back blowing and woo, 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 woo. If I wanted to be a fucking degenerate and become a content creator, I would have said, oh, man, I'll follow your lead. Right? But my character means a lot more than being your buddy. Right? That train done passed, man. When I reached out to you, the very first moment I reached out to you as Noel, I reached out to you as a friend, maybe, you know, an associate down the road or whatnot, right? I didn't imagine that we were gonna come to this right here, man. Right? If I had any kind of fucking idea of this is where it was gonna lead to, man, I wouldn't have involved myself with you. I would have never reached out to you. Right? But me being new to social media, I was bamboozled. Right? I was bamboozled. Right? And just like so many other people are bamboozled, man. Right? I was bamboozled into believing that this character was really somebody. But then it just comes to be that is what it is. He's just a character. You really don't know who he is. I don't know who he is. All we know is what he presents himself on the camera. Right? That's all I know him as, right? So when my first interaction was, oh man, this is a cool dude, right? I'm gonna reach out to him. I reached out to him, hey, we had a few good laughs, hey, how you doing? Woo, woo, woo. You know, I thought it was gonna be a good business arrangement down the road. I was bamboozled, right? I give him that, right? He's a good talker, he's a good bamboozler. He bamboozled me, right? But I don't have any kind of social media, right? YouTube is the only fucking social media that I entertain. And the way I see it, I entertained it for the good idea, man. You know, to bring awareness to about these sexual deviants, these apex predators, these guys that cyberbully and defame people's name online, that support male prison rape, that promote racism. Yes, I mean, yes. I mean, fuck it. If you said that I went out with, the way I see it, I went out with, I did it for the good, man. I did it for the good, right? That's the way I can see it, right? Because if I would have did it for the bad, man, I would have aligned myself with so many times this guy offered me his hand, right? So many times this guy offered me his hand. Oh man, let's do some videos, and you know, I'll pay you $300, and I never took it, right? Why? Because my gut instinct just said something, right? I would have sold my soul to the devil, right? I would have literally sold my soul to the devil, man. So, it's not like I try to, you know, give him opportunity to correct himself, or I did everything I could before we got to this point. I don't know what the outcome's going to be. All I know is that I can prove everything uh, that he said on that video. Uh, my I've already been judged and sentenced and convicted of my past doings, right? You can't double jeopardy me on social media just because you feel like it, right? I've already paid my debt to society. I've already righted my wrongs. So you can scrutinize me all you want, but you know, uh, based off truth, right? Now, kidnapping and all this other shit that y'all went off through, that's where it hurts people's character, right? More than what I've damaged my own self, right? On my own doing, right? That y'all decided to take it upon yourselves to damage my more character and you know, cause me more severe emotional distress, right? Where I'm just I guess you would say mentally unstable at times, man. Because I'm on here rambling, ranting, almost about the same thing over and over, man. I sound like a broken record, right? All my videos are the same shit over and over, man. And it's not like it hasn't been publicized, right? The defamation of my character, my cyberbullying, has been publicized all over social media, man, right? Channels have been made of just my content, of me doing, you know, I guess my address and, you know, cyberbullying and doxing, man, you know, at the hands of this character that initiated everything. He started it and people are just following his lead, right? So yeah, man, you know, I'm a mentally unstable person. I can't physically vent, so I gotta come on here and I guess talk to the phone, man. You know, talk. You know, I guess this is the way of letting it out, man. You know, and uh, whoever listens, man. I guess y'all are my shoulder to cry on, man. All right, that's the way I see it. The people that are on here, even if you don't give me no thumbs up or thumbs down, likes, no likes, you're still here listening, man, and you're like my shoulder to cry on, man. That's the way I see it, man. All right. That's why I don't need to drop no link, man. I just need people to listen to me, like what a psychiatrist does, right? I appreciate that, man, right? I appreciate the people that just come out here and listen to me, right? Because it does me more good than harm. You know, I don't care if y'all think of me as a madman or man. This is me, right? I'm human. I'm not a robot. I've never proclaimed to be a perfect or angel or God or a king or no, man. I'm just human, just like everybody else. We all got our flaws. Some have gone through stuff and some haven't, right? Some have experienced trauma, some haven't. Some lived a good life to where, you know, they're an up and happy person, right? Some are just tormented in their own thoughts. So man, I appreciate y'all, man. To me, like I don't do this for I don't put my Cash App. I don't put no Cash App up there. I don't put nothing for people to donate. I don't ask nothing other than people to speak truth about me and giving me y'all's time to listen to me vent, man. Right, that's it. I ain't asking for too much. Right? It's a give and take relationship on social media, man. I give you who I really am, and y'all are there to pass judgment and listen. All right? And I respect the people more that just sit there and listen, man. So, so all the people, man, that either you're my opposition, my friend, my team, uh, whatever, man. You're here, and you're my shoulder to cry on, man. Right? And this is my way of relieving my emotional stress, man. Right? What other way is there to relieve emotional distress, man? I can't work out. Other than finding somebody to listen to you, man. I got a psychiatrist, you know what I mean? But that's only once a month, man. Right? That's only once a month. Right? They expect medications to do the job, right? But it's not always about medication, man. It's just about being able to talk and somebody listening to you, right? And even if it's just you talking to the phone, man, and nobody's listening, you could presume that phone is somebody, right? And you just talking to it, man, telling them how you feel. No different than a fucking journal, man, if I would say, right? But the only difference is here is that, hey, instead of just me and myself reading that journal, I've decided to let everybody read my journal. There's nothing wrong with it, right? Ain't nothing wrong with it. But you open yourself up to be screwed, and I understand that, man, right? I understand people are gonna scrutinize me and talk about my criminal record, right? I understand that, man, right? The only thing I have to be ashamed of is, like my domestic violence, man. That's the only thing that I have to be ashamed of. If I was to be like ashamed of anything on my background that I've done in my past, that that would give anybody ammunition to talk bad about me, would be that. That's the only thing, man, that I feel right there, right? Because I know the truth, right? And regardless, I'm not trying to justify it. At that time and moment, I was a piece of shit for behaving that way. We all make mistakes. Learn from it, move on, and be able to hold yourself accountable, man, right? And not try to sugarcoat it. That's what I don't understand, man. Like you could have used my own criminal record, man, instead of using Francisco's and going about using it the wrong way, man. It's like, but to you went straight to the worst of the worst, right? I don't know, man. I don't know how y'all think, man. Right? I don't have nothing, like I said, to be really ashamed of, man. Right? Other than my domestic violences. Right? That's, nothing I can say or do other than ask forgiveness and correct my wrong with the person that it was. That's it, man. Right? There's no justifying it. There's no excuses. No. At that moment in time, I was a piece of shit for putting myself in that situation and going through that situation. And it is what it is. You know what I mean? I know it wasn't right. I can hold myself accountable, and I learned from it. Right? That that I have done, right? So it's like there's but I also understand that in itself, you know, it's not bad, man. You know, because if you thought that was really bad, then you wouldn't have really found Francisco and gone that route, right? But it's not bad enough to you, man, right? So that tells me that you either been in domestic violences yourself. I'm not the only one that's ever been in domestic violence, man, right? Everybody has their reasoning. It's a reason for one reason or another, man. I'm not the only motherfucker that's ever been in a domestic violence, right? Nothing to be proud of. I'm ashamed of it, you know, for putting myself in, lowering myself into standards and arguing with the female, which as I older I got, you know, I don't argue with females or even dudes that act like females, right? So it's not like, man, that's what I don't understand, man. Like, I don't understand of maybe you thought that I was just gonna shut up and just take it, and I don't know, man. Right? I don't know what you're thinking or how you think. All I can do is just, you know, try to outthink you, and well, you have an advantage, man. You have so many people helping you, right? You have so many people helping you. You have so. I hope I get to know the names of those people that are helping you, man. Someday. You have a lot of people helping you. A lot, man. So that tells me society is doomed. Right? If you have so many people supporting you and what you believe is doing and what you're doing is right, fucking society is fucked up, man. Right? Society is fucked up. Right? Anybody that wants to be around or associate themselves with guys like Mark Moore, I don't get it, man. Nothing to offer society. I have nothing to offer society at the moment, man. Right? I have nothing to offer society. Right? The only thing I had to offer society was to expose these deviants. Right? Speak the truth when others didn't. Right? That's all I did. Right? I'm not saying Mark can't be an advocate. Shit, Mark can be a huge advocate for the right reasons, but he's doing it all for the wrong reasons. He's trying to cover up his dirt. Right? He's trying to cover up his dirt and say, hey, man, you know, I know what the dudes go through. You know, I was part of the problem at one time, and I'm here to make a change. You know, I know I ain't got that much time. You know, my health is deteriorating. I gotta make it right with God. Fuck this, taking it to the grave with me, right? Taking it to the grave with me is, like I said, man. If you don't believe there's somewhere else, I don't know what it's gonna take, man. You're not gonna be able to come back and say, hey, there's something else, man. Right? You could be a good advocate, man. You know, speak up for change. Knowing that you were part of. Do you know how many people would support you, man? You would probably blow up, man. You would probably fucking blow up. People would be like, oh man, that's Mark Moore busting them cheeks. Now he's over here being an advocate. People like the good underdog story, man. They like to hear people change, man. Right? They like to hear people look at Sammy the Bull. Right? They like to hear him having 19 bodies. Right? But now he's a Christian. Right? He knows that what he did was fucked up, right? He knows, right? He knows, right? Sammy the Bull you could say he's tied into multiple people unalivings, right? He carries that stigma, right? Oh man, 17, 19 bodies, right? And he's out here free, right? And he talks about the bodies, right? Why? Because he's making it right, right? He's telling the truth. He knows what he did wasn't right. It was just part of the circumstances and the environment. Same thing with Mark, right? Mark wasn't the only one fucking doing in there busting cheeks, right? So to only hold and blame Mark, that'd be kind of fucked up, man, right? But Mark Moore was just one of many that we know of, right? So it's not fair to put all the burden on Mark and say, all right, it's all, no, but Mark's the poster boy child, right? He's the poster boy. And just imagine, man, like the change and the advocacy that the man can do, man. Going from prison to prison, being a advocate. Do you know how many more people would support you, man? How many fucking nonprofits would be popped up in your name? A man that was once into fucking sodomizing man, now is into reforming man. That's a fucking Lifetime movie. You go on, you would. I think if you would have gone the right route, you would be getting more than these little peanuts you'd be getting right now, man. Right? These YouTube peanuts. I think if you would have gone a different route, man, being the advocacy for what you once were a problem of, I think you would have gained momentum, man. You would have gained momentum, and people would have been following from all angles, man. From all angles, people would have been subscribing and following. And hey, how can I help you, man? I seen that you were once a fucking monster, a fucking apex predator, but we see the change in you, man. Right? We see the change in you, man. You would have blown up, right? Blown up. Now you're just getting peanuts, right? Peanuts. Is it really worth it, man? Like, I only do video. I'm only on fucking social media to combat the defamation of my character, man. And I suffer from mental health, so I need somebody to cry to, man. Right? I need venting, man. Right? I can't just be trapped in my mind. I need to let my thoughts go out, man. Right? Once you can call it crying out, right? Crying out or venting or call me a bitch. Be like, you acting like a straight bitch right now, bro. That's fine and dandy, man. Right? Maybe my emotional distress gives those vibes off that I'm a emotional distressed person. Right? To some people, it'd be like, oh, man, the fuck up. You acting like a bitch, bro. Right? So that's why I do social media, man. That's why I get on YouTube. And for the past, I guess, 6 months or so, man, about a year, 6 months, I've stopped posting Mark Moore content. Right? I really haven't really posted anything other than my defense videos. Me just coming out here and venting and telling everybody how I feel. Right? That's all I've been doing. Repetitive, talking about the same shit over and over. Right? Over and over, same shit, over and over. Repetitive, over and over, right? Broken disc. But I'm not speaking nothing of nothing that has not been already published on social media, right? All I'm doing is try to combat it, man. Right? I don't know what other way. Right? I don't know what other way other than to if I stay quiet, that means I'm agreeing to what everything they're saying. So I'm damn if I do and damn if I don't. Right? If I don't do a video, they take it as they're in the right. Uh, my mental health deteriorates, right? Because I'm letting everything in, right? Or do I just come on here and vent and work on my mental health and let people listen to me, right? You know, I gotta ask, you know, how long this takes. You know, how long is the trial? You know, how long is how long is this time? Because I honestly want to get over with this, man. Right? I'm tired of it. If I feel like making videos about them pieces of shit, I'll do it. Right now, I just want to get this. Hopefully by the end of the year, it's over with, man. Whoever wins, wins. I'm all I can do is just, you know, present the facts and the truth, and go from there, man. Right? That's all I can fucking do. I can't manipulate. I can't spin my own narrative. I can't do false statements. I can't. Everything that I do in court has to be proven with facts. Right? I can't have people. I can't have screen names come in and say, hey, this is so-called God Soldier, right? They're gonna look at me and be like, who the fuck is God Soldier? Well, that's just one of my witnesses. Well, you know, that witness does not work, right? So I just gotta, you know, leave it in God's hands. You know, right now, it feels like I'm going to court right now, man, right? Which I literally am going to court. And you know, when you go to court, man, you don't got no appetite, man. Right? I had to force feed myself right now, man. I had to fucking shove it in my throat and then swallow it and force feed myself, man, right? Because my stomach's in a knot, man. Right? My anxiety's through the roof, man. Right? I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm anxious, man. Right? It feels like I'm about to commit a crime. Right? That's how I feel right now, man. Right? If anybody's ever done a crime, that's how I feel, man. Right? I feel like I gotta take a shit. I got the bubble guts. Right? But as soon as I go sit on the toilet, nothing wants to come out. Right? It's just bubble guts. Right? So, man, you know, my emotions, you can tell my emotions are skyrocketing, man, because I'm just down here, you know, trying to vent and trying to get all of these emotions out, man. Right? I don't know it no other way, man, other than right, like I made an example, man, how I used to deal with my anxiety, man. When I used to love working, man. I used to love working, man. And I guess my anxiety used to help me overproduce and overexceed and go the extra mile, man. Right? Because I would be focused, man. I'd be, my anxiety was I was able to use my anxiety for the good when I worked, man. Now that I stopped working, my anxiety is just building up, and that's why I guess I inserted myself into the Mark Moore saga, right? I didn't have no kind of way of releasing my anxiety, man. But in the honest truth, this gave me more anxiety, man. Right? This shit actually gave me more emotional distress, right? But it is what it is, man. It is what it is, man. All I know is I did it for the good. I didn't do it I didn't do it to damage anybody's character, other than them damaging their own character themselves, right? Like Mark Moore, right? How much more can I damage Mark Moore's character that he ain't damaged himself, right? What can I possibly say that Mark Moore hasn't done said, right? Literally, honestly, right? So me saying something about Mark Moore, I cannot damage his, I can't defame his, I can't defame his character more than what he has his own, right? I can't defame his character more than what he, I'm just going along with what he said, right? That he was in there busting them white boys' cheeks. I'm just going based off what he did, right? I'm not hurting his character, right? All I'm doing is repeating what he said in my own vocabulary, right? In my own way of putting things. It's no different than what Mark did. So, little old me, handicapped, disabled over here, I really can't defame Mark's character more than what he did himself, right? Now, you ask them the same thing. No, these guys have actually defamed my character more than what I've done myself, right? They've damaged it to the most severe of sexual misconduct that I have no convictions, right? I have no convictions. The only thing that I have is a legal document issued by the state of Texas clearing my name, right? The state itself. That's all I have, right? I don't have any court bond, any court transcripts, any kind of that shit, right? I don't have a kid with a minor, right? I'm not Francisco, right? I'm not Francisco. All right. So all right, y'all. That's a good one, man. But you know, my anxiety's up the sky. It's skyrocketing right now, man. Right? I gotta go. I gotta go face Goliath, right? In his own words, it's like David and Goliath. So I gotta go face Goliath, man. But I know David didn't show no fear. And neither should I. When everybody laughed at David, when David raised his hand and said, I got him, everybody laughed at David, huh? Everybody mocked him. But just as David wasn't scared or have any fear of Goliath, neither should I, man. Neither should I, right? And this is not me making these references, right? I am not making these references, right? These are the references from Dante Lamar Bell. These are not my references. So I don't think that I'm tooting my own horn over here, right? That I'm stroking my own shit. No, these references were made by Dante Lamar Bell, right? So it kind of hit hard in me, man, right? He is right. He is Goliath, right? And I am David, right? And that's just as David wasn't feared or scared for Goliath. And just like, you know, it's an example, right? Everybody mocked him. Everybody mocks me. Everybody makes fun of me, man. Everybody says you're delusional. You're a psych patient, right? You're going against Goliath. But God favors. Who does God favor? The bully? Goliath? And once again, I did not make these references. I'm just repeating what I was told. All right, so don't think that I'm making these references. I'm just applying them, right, man? He made these references, and I'm applying them. I guess I have to. I can't be Goliath. So who am I? I have no other choice. Am I the Rock? Metaphorically, who am I? I have no choice but to be David, right? The one that everyone mocks, the one that feels like, oh, you're gonna lose. Once again, I did not make the reference, so don't go over there and say, hey, the world's delusional, thinking God got his back. No, man, I didn't make the references. I'm just applying them, right? And like I said, man, God knows our heart, man, right? When I spoke about Mark, I wasn't defaming his character more than what he did his own. He damaged his own character when he did that documentary. All I'm doing is just repeating what he said. That's it. If you're gonna get mad at somebody, get mad at yourself. Right? Get mad at yourself. You shouldn't have did that documentary. If you're so worried about people talking about you on social media, you shouldn't have did that documentary. Right? So y'all have a good one, man. Better go read the Bible, man. That helps me out a lot too, man. When I read when I get some quiet time and sit down and just read the Bible, man, just pick up a couple of pages, and wherever it opens up, it opens up. Right? Wherever it lands, and it always gives me a peace of mind, man. Right? So appreciate it, man, for 4 people that have been in here being my shoulder to cry on, man. I appreciate it, man. Even through maybe you're in here for the bad intentions, but there's always something good out of something bad, man. All right. And you being here, just you being here, either for good or bad intentions, you're doing me a favor, man, for just giving me your 2 ears. All right. And just letting me being my psychiatrist, man. Right? But being my social media psychiatrist. Just listening. Like I said, man, I can't damage Mark Moore's character more than what he damaged it himself, his own actions. Right? If he's gonna be mad at somebody, he needs to be mad at himself. Right? Now, Dante Lamar Bell, his actions, the racist antics, the supporting of person, the people that rape and try to normalize it, that's all self-explanatory, man. Manipulating, misinterpreting legal documents, spinning false narrative, all that good stuff, right? All that good stuff. Y'all have a good one, man, and either way, may the best man win. And I'm about to go to pray. I'm about to go to pray to my God. You pray to your God, and hopefully we don't have the same God. Right? Hopefully we don't have the same God, man. Right? Right. But if we do, we'll let him choose the one that's doing it for the good.